he's got the right opponent.
Angelo will start this one off as the lower seed. He'll be on the left lane. And another opening strike for Angelo. That's 8 in a row going back to last game. Time now for the intros for your number 2 seed, Pete Weber.
His 34 PBA Tour victories ties him for 3rd on the all-time list. His 8 major wins include 4 U.S. Open victories. From St. Louis, Missouri, please welcome Pete Weber.
And Robin, in terms of ball reaction, Pete Weber can get really, really close to what Brad Angelo is doing because Pete can throw it slow and he can really create a lot of axis rotation. Look for Pete Weber's ball reaction to be very similar to what Brad Angelo is doing. See, I told you.
You've been nothing but right all day, Randy.
Am I ever wrong?
No, sir.
Nice shot there.
Talking about the Player of the Year implications today for Mike Scroggins, Pete Weber, and Brad Angelo with a chance to be spoiler. Pete Weber has never won Player of the Year honors. 8 majors he's won, the last one coming in 07 when he won the U.S. Open. His 34 tour titles, tied for 3rd most with Mark Roth. Back-to-back opening jacks for PDW.
Well, Pete Weber just needs to get his legs underneath him and somehow shake the nerves and the cobwebs, and I'll tell you, this is a good way to do it. Have your ball come in just a little bit high when you're working on a strike and trip the 4 out, and you can see just by that reaction how pleased he was. Oh, my.
Angelo improving as this oil pattern goes through some slight adjustments. He had a 207 versus Malat, only 5 strikes there. Had 10 strikes in the last game en route to a 256. And he opens up with a pair of strikes here in our semi.
Brad's real comfortable. He's watching the oil pattern change in front of him, and he knows exactly what moves to make. See what he did in match number 1, only throwing 5 of 11 strikes in that first match, but my, oh my, came back strong in the second match. Big 256 game in 10 of 12.
Last match, some verbal shots between Angelo and Barnes. Seemed to really focus Angelo. This is the 7.
Boy, it was like somebody turned on the light switch, though. I mean, completely changed his demeanor, and it went from, okay, you know, this is going to be a great day of Sunday bowling, to all of a sudden, that's it. It's game on now. As you can see there, Brad leaving the blower 7, and he's not liking that a whole lot.
Hey, Brad, what did the verbal conversation you had with Chris Barnes last game do for your game?
Well, I think anytime somebody tries to play any mental games with me, definitely is motivating because, you know, that O in the last letter of my name doesn't allow me to take anything, being Italian.
He said it, not me. Here's Pete Weber. Perfect through 2. Bottom of the 3rd effort. Get up. It was a different PDW we saw yesterday than we've seen the past couple months. He had that confidence. He had that aura about him where he was saying, look, every ball change I made this week, I had confidence in. I knew it was going to work. And he had that attitude of, I think, what people are used to seeing from him.
Well, he had some time off, so mentally he was fresh coming into this event. And, you know, I think it was great, and some of the things he was saying, that, you know, it feels like it's the first time if I were to win again, and you know what, all of that stuff I'm putting behind me, and I'm just going to go out there and bowl. And interestingly enough, on the stick Weber oil pattern, the last game, he shot 300.
ball just didn't want to make the turn.
This one just pushes just a little bit past the head pin, leaving that weak 10. But Rob, you're right. He says, you know what? I feel good. I'm bowling well. My mental game is sharp. And this game does look really good right now.
And he misses the 10-pin. Wonderful jinx.
That's unusual. Pete.
Well, and this is the mental lapse that you just can't have in some of the struggles that he's had on TV in the last 3 years. Just a whiff 10-pin, and you know where Brad Angelo is right now, you can't give him any openings.
We'll see what that does mentally for Pete's game. He can use motivation in a lot of different ways. Not all of them positive. Angelo in the fourth. A little heavy there.
Boy, that ball looked like it made 2 moves going down the lane, because as soon as it saw friction, man, it checked early and then checked again. Once it got to the back part of the lane, went through the nose, only leaving the 3-6. The spare here will be tied up through 4.
And we are tied, but again, Weber coming off that open frame in the fourth as he continues to sit.
What you see now, Rob, is a little bit of carry issue because of the angle that Brad has to play. The old pattern is broken down. The front part of the lane is starting to go, which forces him to the center part of the lane, and now he must create angle. Well, when you create angle, you still got to get the ball to flip up at the right time to get into the 1-3 solidly. That went late, leaving the weak 10.
Angelo had a 300 game this week on the Cheetah oil pattern, also a 299 on the Cheetah. Takes care of the 10, which Pete Weber could not do in the fourth. So Pete started off strike, 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 and then whiffed the 10-pin, dropping the ball in the gutter in the fourth. He's had some time to think about it, as you see